Hi, this is Eddie Hearn and you're watching Lights Out.
This is FAISAL Khan for Lights Out, and I must say I'm absolutely delighted and privileged to be joined by a boxing legend, the former 4-weight world champion, Mr. Roy Jones Jr. Roy, first of all, good morning to you. How you doing? Bit starstruck at the moment, hope you don't mind.
No, it's all good. Thank you, brother. I'm feeling well. Everything's good here. Don't be starstruck. It's all about creating fun, what God turns us into, you know.
Let's just talk a bit about your man Chris Eubank Jr. back in the ring this Saturday. There's been a change of an opponent. Unfortunately, Chris's original opponent, Sven Elba, I believe his name is, had to pull out due to COVID. In steps Anatoly Muratov. You've been in the game a long time now. You know how this works when it's an opponent pulling out at short notice. But in terms of Chris's preparation, training camp, how's things gone?
Preparation's going well. I think he's ready for whatever. So for me, when it comes to being a professional, it don't matter who's short. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's like, it just reminds you back to when you used to be an amateur boxer. When you came to a tournament, you don't know if you're gonna fight number 1 the first night or number 25 the first night. Luck of the draw. You know? So it's like you have to be prepared to beat everybody. And that's what amateur boxing teaches you. So now as a professional, yeah, sometimes you can get lucky and know out of front who your opponent is and try to properly prepare better for him. But the real deal is that you prepare yourself to be the best you that you can be. It don't matter who shows up.
You've been working with Chris for some time now. It's your second fight with him. What have you made of his progression? And where do you think you guys are at in terms of where you'd like to be so far?
A lot of great progression. Looking forward to making even more progression. I think by December, we'll be close enough to do whatever we want to do. Whatever he wants to do, we can do. So he's a guy who can take the things that I teach and he can master them and he can possibly even take it to another level. And if that's the case, we don't know what we're going to do.
A good performance on Saturday night puts Chris in a very, very good position. There's lots of talks about a potential fight with Gennady Golovkin, there's Demetrius Andrade, there's that rematch with Billy Joe Saunders. But working with Chris closely, what would you like to see him do next if he can get a win on Saturday night?
Well, we'd like to get past Saturday night first. Once we get past Saturday night, then we'll go from there.
There's a lot of talk about that rematch with Billy Joe Saunders. First time round, it was a very exciting fight. Second time round, it'd be a very, very good fight as well, I'm pretty sure. Billy Joe Saunders has insisted he wants £5 million to fight Chris. Your thoughts on that, Roy?
That's a very good fight, very good situation for both fighters. But if he wants 5, then of course Chris should be able to get 5 or better, and we go from there.
I just want to get your thoughts on what went down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday night. Anthony Joshua being defeated by Alexander Usyk in what was a tremendous performance by Alexander Usyk. Obviously a lot of talk about what AJ did wrong, but in terms of performance-wise, where would you rank that up at the heavyweight division by Alexander Usyk?
It was a very good fight for both of them. I thought it was a very good performance by Usyk, but it was a great fight. It was a great fight by both fighters. Just that I thought AJ started a little late.
What do you think Anthony Joshua needs to do different in the rematch? What sort of approach do you think he needs to take?
Just start earlier.
How do you see that rematch panning out?
I don't know. Depending on which Joshua shows up, which Usyk shows up. I don't know.
It's a big fight next weekend in the heavyweight division between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Just give us your prediction for that fight.
Once again, it's another fight where we don't know because Deontay Wilder has changed trainers. You change trainers, sometimes you change your fight plan, you change the whole program. So we don't know which Deontay Wilder is going to show up now. The old Deontay Wilder, we know Fury beat him twice already in our minds. He beat him once on paper, but in our minds beat him twice. So that Deontay Wilder we know couldn't beat Fury. But now we have a new Deontay Wilder come to the table who's still going to be able to punch. So it brings a whole different dynamic to the table. Now we got to see how Fury takes the new Deontay Wilder and manipulates that so that Fury still wins. Fury is a very good mind guy. He knows how to manipulate situations very well. He knows how to figure a situation out. And he'll take and figure out what Deontay Wilder does differently. And Deontay don't knock him out right away with that, he'll figure it out and he'll figure out how to take it too. So going in, my money going to still be on Fury. But Wilder does have the punching power, and with new guidance now, he may have some added tools to the box and may be able to change the game.
We've seen Tyson Fury adapt in both fights. A lot of people say Deontay Wilder struggles with basic boxing. What does Deontay Wilder have to do different coming to this fight, knowing the fact that Tyson Fury is capable of beating him on the outside as well as the inside.
Well, like you say, he got a guy who helped up his boxing game. So he realized that he did suffer some with boxing skills, but he brought in people to up their boxing game. So now we'll see how far they brought the game up between the last fight and this fight.
As I mentioned, you know, I'm a massive fan of yours. You know, watched the majority of your fights throughout your career, all the way back into 1993 when you won your first world title, to 2003 when you won the heavyweight title. You had so many great moments during your career. I mean, if you had to pick one standout moment, which one would it be?
Only the history-making one against John Ruiz. That was the history-making one of all of them, so that'll probably be the one standout.
All right, okay, well, Roy Jones, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you for talking to Lights Out.